look, guys, I fell into this trap. All right. There's an app called Lensa. Apparently, it's storing all of my images and ruining the careers of artists all around. I, not being a visual artist, and I'll get into the kind of art that Trey and I do and how AI cannot replicate it. But I downloaded this app, and you put a bunch of photos in there, and it makes you look kind of cool. Also very cross-eyed. Here we go, guys. Here's Francesca in all kinds of. It's my Hunger Games over here. Here I'm like a weird sexual robot cyborg lady. I don't know why it's sexual. She just looks like she's a sex worker. Here I'm cross-eyed, but I kind of look like my mom. I look a lot like my mom. Here I look. I don't know. I look like Phoebe Cates over here. And then there's a bunch of other ones where I mostly look like Aubrey Plaza or Olivia Munn, which for me is like, it's like the app going like, yeah, you're cute, but like Aubrey Plaza's cute. Or like, yeah, you're cute, but have you ever thought about looking like Olivia Munn? Very funny. And I want to know, y'all, is this good? Is this bad? This is AI.
Yeah, I'm terrified of robots. Fully. Like I'm not happy about any of this stuff at all. Like last night I was watching Netflix with my wife, and Alexa out of nowhere just stated the time, like unprompted, just said the time. And so me and my wife start whispering to each other, like, why'd you say that? What's going on? It's like we're afraid of her overhearing us, because she's listening. And every time I see Boston Dynamics put out a new video of one of their little robot dogs doing a dance or something, I imagine it doing so on a mass human grave. Because I just that's just how I see that playing out. I don't know if I watched Terminator too many times or what, but yeah, no, I'm not overly on board with any of this AI
Wait,
shit.
do you know that even more scary? I'm not going to say her name because she is listening, and if I say it, she'll start talking to me in the room. But if you whisper at her, she will whisper back at you.
Yeah, see, that's freaky. I don't like that.
Scary as hell.
But
I had no idea.
The picture thing you're doing, you said, because I didn't know about this until today doing your show. You show it a bunch of pictures of yourself, and then it just makes other pictures of you.
Okay, there's a few steps. First, you
That
subscribe for $30.
Crazy to me.
Wait, hang on. You subscribe for $30, but you totally can cancel after but most people will forget to. Upload 20 pictures of yourself, totally normal. Then you wait for about a couple hours, and it spits out all these AI generated artwork pieces.
Okay.
That's what it is. And they're all in a different genre. And you're like, oh, cool. I look cool. That's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, I can see how it is cool to to get those, but I'm saying I'm not like in awe of the capabilities of that software. Maybe it's because I'm too dumb. You show it 20 pictures of your face, right? And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna take that face and put it in space or whatever. That's not that's
well,
not
the funniest part is that Matt did it, my husband did it, but we didn't. You're supposed to give them good, interesting backgrounds because they take colors and stuff and they use that. But he just wanted all the good looking photos of himself, which he thinks is just the same face that he makes. So we uploaded like 14 of kind of the same face, and the AI spit out the worst portraits. It's just him looking a little bit worse, like a little cross-eyed, and it's the same. It's very funny. The point is that you can trick it into being bad, but these are actual people who created. They wrote the programs, correct, Paris? It's not actually a robot with a paintbrush.
Yeah, I'm very conflicted on them. I'm very much like Trey in that I hate the robots as well. I like don't even own I won't say the name. I don't have these speakers. I don't have any of like the smart home
I don't know
stuff.
her. You're the Mariah. I don't know her.
I like avoid it all. I'm very this obviously my show is Tech Won't Save Us, so I'm kind of, this is hardwired into me. But when
you're like in the middle of your show, you're like, you just call out for who, and you tell her to edit your podcast. People are like, I feel like there's a conflict of interest. Yeah. Sorry, keep going.
No. But the AI art stuff, it's been fascinating to me because I feel like, at least on the section of Twitter that I'm on, and maybe the media more broadly, I feel like there was a discussion around AI art and why it was like really problematic and why we probably shouldn't be embracing it like a few months ago, right?
Yes.
And then in the past like few days or whatever, I've seen everybody posting these AI art photos of themselves. And I was like, did you guys
we got over
forget like
hating
what we
it.
talked about a
We
few
forgot.
months ago, you know?
We forgot. Totally forgot.
So I haven't done it personally. I feel like, you know, obviously there's been a lot of discussion on it, you know, in the past number of months, as I was saying. And I'm very conflicted about these kind of softwares, because now the one that you see as well is one that is apparently writing ChatGPT or something like that. And it's like, oh, look, it knows everything. You can put in a prompt and it can write a really kind of succinct essay or a few paragraphs about it or whatever. And I feel like people are kind of, as we tend to when it comes to these technologies and AI stuff, we're looking at it and we're kind of expecting that it can do much more than it can actually do, when it's actually just, I saw someone describe it as like a really good bullshitter kind of, right? Which is kind of what it's doing. It doesn't actually have intelligence, right? It doesn't know what it's doing. It's just trying to put things together and replicate things that sound similar.
But that's like a college student, let's be fair. That's a college essay is mostly just bullshitting someone whose brain isn't fully formed, just like you know, giving you an assessment of a book they didn't actually read. But yeah.
I think it might still be a bit below that. Like it's interesting. I was talking to Zachary Loeb, who's a PhD student who looks into like Y2K and stuff like that. He's really kind of up on the history of technology
throwback
stuff. And back in the, I think it was the 60s or the 70s, there was this program called Eliza. And it was, you know, put together then. It was considered like a little kind of AI tool at the time. And you would kind of chat with it, and it was kind of like a therapist in a way. And people actually thought that it was intelligent, that it knew what it was doing, or that they were actually talking to another person. But actually the person who designed it just knew like what people kind of expect to kind of hear back from these kind of answers. And so it was not intelligent at all. It was very dumb. But the guy who made it was like, I was so worried, like seeing how people engaged with it and how they thought it was smart, because I knew that it wasn't smart at all. And I had just programmed it in this like kind of interesting way to assume what people, you know, would be saying about this. And so now when, you know, I look at these things now, one of the things that Zach said to me was that like, it's the Eliza thing all over again, right? Sure, that happened 50 years ago, but we haven't really moved past assuming that these tools can do so much more, because we want to assume that they will do so much more, right? And so
you know what? It's so fatalistic too. We have this, sorry to interrupt, but we have kind of like this fatalism of like, well, guess I don't have to do anything, or like, just enslave me, robots. And everyone's like, is it Terminator yet? And it's like, no, we still have agency, people. And you're like, oh no, I'm a slave to the robot. Yep. Like, I think it's so funny that we're preempting that.
Yeah, well, you know, I think part of the reason that it's better is because these systems have access to so much data now, and you know they're reliant on these massive data centers that can process all of this data, right? So it looks like they can do so much more, and they're progressing in these ways, but really there's just more kind of coming into the system. And as you say, like with your husband kind of uploading photos that didn't work for what the system wanted to, you can reach these kind of corners where you put something in that it doesn't fully understand, and it spits something out that makes no sense because you've reached, you know, a place where it hasn't collected data on something, and so it can't, you know, present something to you that looks like it knows what it's actually doing or talking about. And just as you were saying on automation there, like remember there was a moment in like the mid 2010s where there was all this discussion around like the robots are progressing so fast, they're going to be destroying millions of jobs within a few years. We're going to have no jobs for truckers in a few years, and look at where we are now in this pandemic. And, you know, it was all a load of hype that assumed that these technologies were going to be able to do so much more than they could.
Always.
And we do this over and over.
And I'm so excited about this because it's also used, and we're talking about rail workers, it's used as a way to preemptively make precarious someone's job, and be like, well, see, the robot is right here, chomping at the bit. I mean, in any moment now, in like a year, I mean 10, I mean 30, I mean, you know,
don't
like,
ask for better, because then we'll just get the robot to replace you.
Exactly.
Right? Same with the Amazon workers, right? Don't unionize, because then we're just going to bring more robots in to do your job, even though we keep hiring so many more of you because we need you.
Oh my God, yes, totally. But okay, for a go around, and then we'll get the hell out of here. What would you want to see automated by AI? What do you want AI to do? And what do you not want AI to do? I will go first and just say, the head of Google AI a couple years ago, I was on a panel with him, and he said to me, I was doing stand-up for this panel. It was a BBC Arts Hour thing. He said to me, he goes, do you know the one thing that we haven't been able to program robots to do is to tell a joke. Like they can tell a joke that you've loaded into it, but instinctually on its own, writing a joke, saying a joke, or finding something funny, like humor, we couldn't do it and we can't do it. And I was like, yes, you know what I mean? Like take that, burlesque dancers and clowns and other people that comedians compete with on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like the one thing, Trey,
Yeah.
there's never going to be a Trey who can do your tour dates for you, bro.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm not convinced though that Netflix isn't writing some of their movies with some form of AI or something.
Yeah, because they're pretty shit lately.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Definitely
And,
writing. Yeah,
they seem like an algorithm spit them out or something. But yeah, no. What I would want an AI to do, I mean, I want to say nothing, because of what I already said earlier. Like, no, fuck robots, right? But like, I know myself, and dude, I'd be that fat fuck in the Wall-E chair. You know, like that stuff starts coming out, I'll let them do whatever they want, or whatever they will for me. You know what I mean? They can rub my feet, whatever. You know, I'll just let it happen. I know how I am.
Can I just say that what I want AI to do is to just be on hold.
Yeah.
On for my healthcare bullshit for me,
agree.
and sort me through all of that and talk to either other AI or real people. I don't give a shit. I just don't want to be on hold. I want it to change flights for me.
See, the solution to your healthcare problem is just public healthcare. So then you don't need to do that anyway.
Whoa, Paris. Slow down. Slow down. Yeah, that now we're getting greedy.
Instead of tech solutions, maybe we need political solutions. You know?
That is the thesis of your podcast, I know. Right? What do you think, though, as such a hater, Paris?
Yeah. See, I would love to be able to automate my chores, right? Like, I don't want to do laundry. I just want the robot to do the laundry, or to clean the house or something like that. But the thing that we find again and again is that the robots can't do that. And actually, it's like poorly paid people who end up doing our chores, because if you think about the gig economy, or so much of what Silicon Valley was focused on, in the early 2010s, it was really you have this group of young people who came out of Stanford. They don't have their moms anymore. And so they don't want to do the stuff that their moms used to do for them. And so we need tech solutions to what mom used to do. And so that's where the gig economy kind of comes from, a lot of these services. And it's why a lot of the companies provide meals, provide laundry service, all this kind of stuff, because
amazing.
You kind of keep it like a dorm, or like your mom's house. And so what we actually find is that the robots don't take over those things. We just get really poorly paid workers and find ways to pay them less and treat them like shit, or pretend that there's a robot doing it when actually there's a worker behind the computer or behind the screen or something that you don't realize is there, as is so often the case. So I would love the robots to take over my chores, but I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon. And so we should make sure that those people are treated good.
I want a robot that nurses.
Yeah,
a robot. I mean, just the whole kit and caboodle. I want to say that
Netflix made a movie about that. Did you watch it?
No.
Did they?
Mother. It's either called Mother or I Am. Maybe I Am.
Is
Mother.
Is that with
a
J-Lo?
Robot raising raising a human girl in the far-flung dystopic future, and then
does that work out?
Wild. What do you think? Yeah, it's just it's all just finger painting sessions and rainbows and shit the whole 90 minutes, and then it goes off.
I'll tell you a fun robot
story, but with a robot.
If you're talking about a mother and robot, I would say there's a movie called Frank as well. I don't know if you've seen it, where it's an old kind of retired man, and his friend is this robot, and apparently he used to be a jewel thief or something like that, and the robot is oh, I need to cheer him up, we need to do something fun. And so they start doing jewel heists together, him and the robot. It's cool. A really sweet movie.
Oh, that's sweet as hell. I like that.
That sounds nice.
That mother shit sounds patriarchal. That sounds see, this is what happens when you don't actually breastfeed. No, you don't bond with your baby.
It's 100% a robot murder future movie. It's in that one of the most popular genres in all of sci-fi. It's one of those.
can we just go out with this little image from Elon? You know, you say the future is bad, but Elon's talking about the
Oh my.
Starship taking beings of Earth to Mars, guys. And
And then
somehow it
all
looks
those animals are gonna die when they try to breathe Martian air.
wow. First of all, those giraffes invested heavily in Dogecoin. Okay, so that's why they're getting on. But the people here are being, oh look, held back at gunpoint.
Oh shit, I missed that.
Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute?
What the hell?
Because that's what happens.
Well, yeah, only 2 people can get on the ark, right?
Yeah, 2 by 2, and it's
Right,
already
yeah. So
it's Elon.
it's Elon acknowledging, like, me and whoever my 8th wife at the time is will be on there with all giraffes and shit, but you peasants will
and the
just need to
babies.
watch
Whoever
us,
will take my IVF,
Yeah.
genetically altered babies,
Right.
who
He
are
will-
going to rule the world.
Elon wouldn't even take anyone else. He would just take his, like, yes, the IVF babies. He would just take the zygotes or the the embryos already. Ugh.
A whole colony of
Can you
Elon
imagine?
Musk. Have you seen the photos of his kids? Like it's so weird to see photo. He went to, like, where was it? The Vatican or something, and brought some of his kids along this summer.
Just
And like just to see
scooped
the
up a
photo
handful
of him and like a few of his kids. And like to see his face on like these younger bodies, it's like so disturbing.
Oh god, that is really
That is
upsetting. All right,
often how
don't.
kids work, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, but
You
it's
are
Elon
kind of
Musk.
putting your face onto a smaller person.
That's pretty much all it is. I
And
mean,
it is
that's
weird, yeah.
it's a good survival instinct. Honestly, when
Yeah.
I get mad at my daughter, I look in her eyes. I'm like, those are my eyes.
Yeah, can't throw her out a window now. She's
Yep.
got my face.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
That is exactly what
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do it.